بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
So, let's go to some riwayat of the A'immah alayhim as-salam. Bashir bin Dahan relates from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam that Abu al-Khattab, that Imam Sadiq wrote, in fact, to Abu al-Khattab, he was the great extremist or transgressive Shi'i at that time, that you claim that fornication, الزنا رجل وخمر رجل والصلاة رجل والصيام رجل وأن الفواحش رجل. What does this mean? How is fawahish a man? It's a big discussion. Again, funny, these are very strange ideas. That fawahish could manifest itself as a human being, or these indecencies, and could transfer from soul to soul, some of the commentators say. Nevertheless, Imam writes to Abu al-Khattab and he says to him basically that your beliefs are unacceptable. He repudiates him completely and condemns him and curses him. And another belief that the Khattabiya had, or the followers of Abu al-Khattab, was antinomianism. That, for example, because you love your Imam, you don't believe in Sharia. So you can drink alcohol, engage in same-gender relations, you can steal, all of these things. Al-Ash'ari talks about this in his Kitab al-Maqalat. So this was another kind of Ghulluw, because it's inkar lil daruriyat, as Sayyid al-Khuy says. Very important to distinguish between beliefs that may be controversial and inkar lil daruriyat. This is very important, Sayyid al-Khuy explains. Not as Sayyid al-Khuy, Sayyid Muhammad Baqir al-Sadr, Sayyid Muhsin al-Hakim, all of them. In Mustamsak, Sayyid al-Khuy, Sayyid al-Sadr in his Bukhuth on Urwa, and Sayyid al-Khuy in his Tanqi. We have to distinguish between concepts and beliefs and inkar of the daruriyat, of the essential elements of religion. This is how the A'immah have defined Ghulluw in most narrations. In another narration from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, he says, protect your youth from the ghulat, because they are the evil of Allah's creation. Yusaghiruna adamatullah, because they bring down, they belittle the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then he says that for us the muqassir is better than the ghali, because the ghali has created new traditions by saying salah is not wajib, for example. Huwa tariku salah. Where the muqassir is falling, maybe not performing all the wajibat, but at least when they hear, they listen and they obey. But the ghali has gone to all extremes. Again, the Imams define this Ghulluw, right? And then in their traditions, I don't have time to go through all of them, they explain. Mu'mineen, please pay attention to this point. They say, كَالنَّصَارَ وَالْيُهُودِ وَالَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا. That again, the standard is what the Christians, the Jews, وَالَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا did, or وَالْمَجُوس. That they are not like them, or they should not be like them. Do not make the same mistakes. As Imam Zain al-Abidin says, سَيُحِبُّونَ شِيعَتُنَا, that our Shia shall love us, hatta, to the point of how the Christians exceeded in their love of Isa, or how the Jews exceeded in their love of Uzair. And Isa is not from them and they are not from Isa. Uzair is not from the Jews and the Jews are not from Uzair. Does believing the Imam, having special knowledge given to them by Allah, make him the son of God? Or Ilah or Rab? La. Abadan la. This is not the case. This is the case of, which I have already defined, which are certain beliefs which are attributed to the ghulat. Or in another riwayah from Imam Rida alayhi salam, I've been given the 2-minute signal, so I will wrap up with this. I don't even know if I'll have time for a conclusion. But this riwayah from Imam Rida is extremely, extremely important. I may go 1 minute over, because I have to end with this riwayah of Imam Rida. In Uyun Akhbar Rida, Saduq presents a very interesting narration where the Imam was with Ma'mun in a gathering, and he was asked, what is the evidences of Imamah, the dalil of Imamah? Imam al-Rida alayhi salam answers, the nukta muhimma, latifa, jittan latifa. He says that that the proof of Imamah is based upon al-ilm wa istijabatu du'a. It's based on a special knowledge and the fact that the Imam's dua is answered by Allah. That they have a special connection with Allah that no one shares in. Is this ghulluw? And, he says, they've been given the ilm of firasa. Because Imam Rida was asked, do the Imams know what is fi qulub al-mu'mineen? He says, yes, we do. How? He explains to Ma'mun, how does it work? The Prophet had something known as ilmul firasa that was given to him by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the knowledge of, intuitive knowledge of human beings. And then the Imam says, قَدْ جَمَعَ اللَّهُ لِلْأَئِمَّةِ مِنَّا مَا فَرَّقَهُ فِي جَمِيعِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And Allah gave to the Imams everything of the sum of the knowledge of human beings. The sum of all of that knowledge was put into the Imams of Ahlul Bayt, which was given to them from the Prophet himself, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then the Imam was asked by Ma'mun, now tell us about the Ghali. Then the Imam says, now, as for the Ghali, he says, Ya Abul Hasan, بَلَّغَنِي أَنْ قَوْمًا يَغْلُونَ فيكم ويتجاوزون الحد. That tell us about the ghulat who go to the extremes. The Imam says to them, he narrates from the Prophet himself who says, لا ترفعوني فوق حقي. Don't elevate me above my right. And he says, فإن الله تبارك وتعالى اتخذني عبدا قبل أن يتخذني نبيا. That God took me as a slave before he took me as a prophet. What's the point here? I don't have time to go through. He quotes Al-Imran 79 to 80. The point is the A'immah are ibad of Allah Azza wa Jal. Ibad. They're the greatest slaves of Allah. You know what William Chittick says in the introduction to Sahifa Sajadiyah? I strongly suggest those who have maybe closed minds to read the introduction. Chittick says something interesting, and I will just mention this point and finish. Chittick says what? If only we understood their worship, we would understand their maqam. If only we understood the level of their ubudiyat and their maqam of their souls, of these individuals, we would understand why God has endowed them with such knowledge. It's paradoxical that the lower they go in their humility and their ubudiyat and their worship of Allah, the more Allah gives them of ilm and ma'rifah, even of the past and the future presents to come. But the closed minds don't understand. This is what Chittick explains. People who can't understand these things go and make accusations about things that they don't entirely understand. I strongly suggest William Chittick's introduction to Sahifa Sajadiyah is a very important introduction, and it will be very helpful to people, inshallah. May Allah guide us all to the right path. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa alihi at-tayyibin at-tahirin.